This is Professor Porter. This is the Federal Rules of Evidence. We're in the introduction section, and we're still talking about the three most important questions that you can ask. In other videos, we covered where are we? That is, where are we in the proceedings? Where are we geographically? Where are we? Who's asking the questions? The proponent. Who's objecting? The opponent. What is the evidence? How we might separate down, breaking down a larger problem to say what are the items of evidence at issue. But lastly, and this is, I think, the most important question that you can ask in evidence before you actually get to the rules, before you get to relevance, before you get to character evidence, hearsay, and the rest of the rules that come from the articles of federal rules. What is the proponent trying to do? So much of what we argue, so much of what we go through in evidence course is we are making arguments on both sides, arguing essentially what is the proponent, the one that's standing up, presenting, the one that's putting on evidence. What are they trying to do? Obviously, if I'm the opponent and the proponent is standing up and they're asking questions of a witness and I object, I'm going to be saying this proponent is trying to do something that's improper. This proponent is trying to present evidence or put on evidence that violates the rules. They are trying to do something that, cuts against the rules, and I have the obligation to stand up and object as the opponent. That's one of the things that I'm going to be patrolling. And the proponent, on the flip side, is going to break from the direct examination, going to break from admitting the evidence, going to break from going down a process of laying foundation, turn to the court and say, I'm not, this evidence is not objectionable, and I have a response to this objection, and I'm not trying to do something that violates the rules. I'm trying to do something else that's permitted under the rules. So you have to think about it. The arguments often turn, and we're going to cover so many rules where the arguments turn on what is the proponent trying to do. The opponent's saying they're trying to do the bad thing. They're trying to do the thing that they're not allowed to do under the rule. The proponent, when they have an opportunity to respond to that objection, are going to say, no, two hands up in the air. I am allowed to do this. I am doing something innocently. I'm doing something that I'm permitted to do under the rule. I don't have that evil intent, that evil purpose that is ascribed to me. And here's the couple things that they could be doing. They could be admitting evidence. They could be eliciting testimony. They could be sort of having different purposes for eliciting testimony or trying to admit evidence. So we're arguing about what are they trying to do. And again, these are the three questions that we get to before we get to the specific rules. Again, here are the specific rules once we get past those threshold questions. But what I want to emphasize at this point is these questions in red, these three questions: where are we? What is the evidence? What is the proponent trying to do? Those are foundational to every evidentiary issue, every evidentiary problem. If you get in the habit of pausing and asking those three questions first before you dive into the rules, before you dive into the back and forth of the evidentiary argument, you'll be better off.